Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So this video here is going to be a review and demo on the Standolux IQ color matching light. It's fairly new onto the market and it's got a couple of cool features on it that really made it stand out to me. So we'll do a bit of an unboxing to start off and then we'll give you guys a look at how it actually works. So I must admit that this isn't the very first unboxing. The paint gods must have been angry at me that day, but I thought I had my camera recording and it turns out it didn't want to play, and then I ended up repacking the entire thing, and then again it didn't want to play. So this is actually the third time I made this video. The life of a YouTuber, hey? So you can get the basic idea of what you get in there. It's just the light, it's got that stand down the bottom, and then you got your charger. Now there was a battery pack in there as well, which I've obviously already put inside the light, and I didn't bother to pull it back out just for the sake of an unboxing video. So as you can see there, you've got a couple of different adapters that you can use. So wherever you are in the world, you should be able to get a power adapter that will go into your PowerPoint. So I've got the Australian one there, then plug it straight into my PowerPoint and I'm right to give it a charge. So I charged this up when I first got it. I gave it a full charge and it's been over 2 weeks of being used every single day and I haven't had to recharge it yet. So that's an absolutely amazing upgrade from the 3M Sun Gun, which is what I've previously been using. Most of the time when I'm using it, I'll leave that base on. It acts as a stand, and that way wherever I am I can just place it on the bench without having to leave it on its side, as you see there. You can see it here next to the Sun Guns. Sun Guns have been around for quite some time and they're quite good for colour matching, but there's a few letdowns to these Sun Guns. So the way that these work is they got a standard globe here, just your standard old globe, whereas the Standolux has a bank of LED lights there. So first up, the main thing that you'll notice is the weight. As soon as you pick that up, you're like, wow, that's a heavy piece of kit in your hand. But that one, it's a lot lighter. I think you're looking at around 450 grams for that and about 1150 grams for that. So it's less than half the weight. Yeah, the battery life on the Standolux light is absolutely kills the Sun Gun, leaves it for dead. Because the LEDs do go through a lot less power, and also because you've got a standard globe in this, I think that if you get these too hot you can actually risk blowing the globe. So they've got a fan in the back of this. You may not be able to see it or hear it, but yeah, you can probably hear that fan spinning around there. So that's another battery drain as well. And I think most of the weight in this is actually in the battery pack itself, whereas the battery pack in this is a lot smaller. I won't go and get into it at the moment because I need a screwdriver to get in there. But yeah, you'll notice that with the Standolux light, the light is a lot brighter and sort of a little bit more on the bluer side. Not sure how well that's going to show up, if that's just blinding you on the camera. But then if we turn this one on, and it's a lot more on the sort of yellow side. So the Sun Gun's got 2 light settings on it, low and high, and the Standolux light has actually got 6 light settings on it. So it's got low, medium and high on the bright white light, and then it's got low, medium, high on the orange light as well. 1, 2 and 3. So supposedly that orange light is to check for Metamerism, which is a term that refers to basically in these fluorescent lights, it can actually change colours, and in some spray booth lights, the fluoro lights can actually change the way a colour appears to look, whereas you get the exact same colour outside and they look perfect. Now the word for that is Metamerism, I believe I'm pronouncing that properly, and supposedly this will check for it. I don't really use the orange light that much. I mean, I do have a quick look at the colour, but most of my matching will be done with the standard bright light, white light, whatever you want to call it. It's actually got quite a round, because you look at the lights here, you would have sort of expected it to be a little bit square, but you can actually see that it's a very round beam that you've got on there. So there's 1, 2 and 3, the brightest one, 1, 2 and 3. But yeah, I mean, they're actually a lot more affordable than the Sun Guns too. The Sun Guns are crazy expensive. You're talking around $750, something like that, when they're on special even. Don't quote me on that because prices will vary, especially depending on where you are in the world and what kind of deals you can get. But these, you can get them for around $300, so half the price, and for my money, they're a lot more superior anyway, so they're a better product and a lot cheaper too. So we can go in the booth and have a look with it. But yeah, it's primarily for colour matching. That's all I really ever use it for. Like some guys, when they're doing their blends, they sort of don't trust the booth lights, and they like to turn the booth lights actually even off, and then come in and check their colour or check their blend or something with the colour light, because it's more a natural light, sort of daylight globe type thing, so you won't get the colour difference that you can get with the fluoros. But yeah, as I say, I never really do that. I mean, I have done it before, but very rare that I'll actually get the colour light out when I'm in the booth. Yeah, this is a job I painted just this morning, or this afternoon. Finished it off. Took about 5 hours from start to finish on that one, which it's not super fast, but it's fairly reasonable. Good enough for Saturday anyway. As you can see here, I'm just doing a little bit of colour matching on the rear bumper for this ML Mercedes-Benz. So we're bringing the colour right up to that quarter panel, so I've got to make sure that the colour is good enough that we're not going to have any colour difference when it's finished. Just take note of the kind of light that 3M sun gun throws off, and then now we'll have a look at the Standolux IQ. So for me, the sun gun really does look a lot more like a true daylight globe, whereas the Standolux, as you can see, it's a little bit on that blue side. So first time I used the Standolux, I wasn't really 100% sure with it, so I had to go and grab my sun gun just to double check the color. As it turned out, it still looked good under the sun gun, so I was sure that I was able to paint it, and it came out fine. Now I've used it for quite some time, I no longer feel as if I need to use the sun gun just to double check. But as I said, the first couple of times you just want to be sure. You can see that the results on this bumper bar are quite nice, and it looks good in every single light, with the yellow light, with the bright light, or with the lights turned off. So that's what you're looking for. You want the color to look good in all different lights. So there's no use in having the color look great on the inside of the workshop, but then you get it outside and it's totally different. So I actually prefer color matching with a light like this, and some people will say, oh, if you've got sunlight outside you should always go for that, but personally I'd prefer to colour match with this. I've even had a couple of times where I've gone outside, colour matched the colour, brought it back inside, just double checked it with the sun gun or with the colour matching light, and it turns out, you know what, I actually wasn't happy with that, because I find that you're able to check the flips and the flops and the face a little bit better with the colour matching light, because you can move it around on all the different angles. I actually hear there's another good one on the market. A couple of guys mentioned it on Instagram that the Scan Grip one is quite good, so I'm yet to use one of them, but they do look like another good option if you're in the market for a colour matching light. Well then, yeah, they could be another one that's worth having a look into. I actually know that a friend of mine, Ricky Salmons from Rickstar Reviews, has actually got a YouTube video, so go and check that out if you're interested and you're in the market for a colour matching light. But yeah, when I'm colour matching, I usually just go by, if I'm doing a bumper bar, if it's better than the rear bumper bar, if it's better than factory has done, well then I'm going to paint it. As you can see there, my colour is actually better than what's on the rear bumper, so I painted it. I'll leave it at that for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Now you've seen this video, get out there and paint some shit. This has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.